Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for a dynamic effort squat and deadlift day, but a quick reminder for those of you who are watching, please click like down below. If you aren't following or subscribed, please do so and drop me a comment down under here to say hello or give your thoughts. So for the speed work today, I just did 6 doubles on box squats and then 6 doubles on conventional deadlifts. Everything was against bands. I decided just for the sake of setup, for the sake of brevity and comfort, let's just do speed boxes with the safety bar. In fact, I want to push the safety bar a little more. I've gotten to where I can really comfortably get under a power bar. My shoulders are doing really well right now, but I'm like, why aggravate it? There's no point in doing so. In fact, I do feel like my upper back needs to come up in general, so doing my speed work with the SSB isn't a bad thing. In fact, I might test my my safety bar squat coming up here on max effort. I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I feel like a little bit of SSB work, not a bad thing. This is the last week of my band wave though, so I'm going to go to chains for the next 3 weeks. I didn't really change anything on the benching or the deadlifts at any point through here. I just kept them the same. I did rotate squats around a little bit through this wave. But again, the whole idea with conjugate type training, you never really want to adapt. So even the speed work, because of the fact that we changed the speed work from bands to chains, which is what I'm doing. You don't have to do that. This is what I do. It's what I do for clients who have access to both. Again, not saying you have to do it. In fact, occasionally I like a wave of just straight weight. In fact, sometimes it's not a bad approach after running a wave of each, go over to straight weight and do it. That way we avoid adapting, right? We avoid adapting. Always rotating the stimulus. And that way a lot of the supplemental work we can keep somewhat constant. We just get big on that stuff. But if we're always rotating the max work, always rotating the speed work, that handles a large amount of our overuse concerns. Plus we're just always having to use max force against different positions, different angles. All good, all good. But yeah, I think I'll go back to sumo for the speed pulls for the chain wave. All right, I did conventional for this wave. Hit a pretty solid conventional in the middle of this block for a max. So yeah, that's what we did. So 6 doubles. And I feel like that was really good because in it, it's like I could just zip through them. It's like, I felt like these setups were really easy. I know this band setup, so again, I just get it all done, just jump in. I already know how to set the bands for that with the SSB. So it was a smooth, quick setup. Got all this done really, really quick so that I can zip through it, be aggressive with it, and get over to the hypertrophy work. So yeah, happy with this wave. It was a good workout. Like I felt really productive in this workout. And yes, I did go a little heavier on all my work today. And my thought here, I'm trying to mix different rep ranges in. I know for a little while here, for a few weeks, I did nothing but like 10 to 15. But I feel like a little bit of heavier work still warranted, and I know I've said we can do 10 plus perfectly fine, and I stand by that. Like I could literally, I would do the same even if I have someone who's just chasing bodybuilding. If I wanted to just bodybuild for a while, I might run some of the sort of programming you've seen for my supplemental stuff and do 10 to 15 reps on everything. Not really a big deal. Not a big deal at all. But I do feel like, for me, I've analyzed certain angles and pause when I turn and move, and I do realize still at this point, for me, triceps and that whole upper back has to come up. But I'm prioritizing that. But I do feel like even my shoulder work, I don't know that I need to be messing with other delt work. Just do incline. I'm going to double down, I think, on rear delt stuff. I feel like my rear delt, my traps, my triceps need to come up, particularly as I just recomp at this point. So I'm focusing on lean gains and recomposition. I feel like the diet's in a good place. Some people, I kind of laugh at a few people who say things like, "Oh, you look like you've bulked up," and then others who are serious fans, not trolls, are like, "No, dude, you don't look like you've gained fat at all. You just look fuller since you've carved up. You look thick." It's like, all right, cool. But now that I've changed to easier digesting carbs, as of like yesterday and today, we'll see how that impacts next week. But the waistline may come down because of that. I've been filling up on that brown rice. So I decided, again, good mornings and glute ham raises have to be a high priority for me right now. I noticed that when I wasn't happy with the lat cramping a little bit and felt like hamstrings were getting weaker because I hadn't done glute ham raises. So today, instead of just repping this out, I'm like, let's go real heavy. Right? I've done 10s with 240 with this bar. So I'm like, let me see if I can get reps with 300. They were hard, especially going all the way down. I did 2 sets of 5 with 300 with this bar. I'm like, we done there. That's about all I could take after this speed work. My whole back and upper back and everything was lit. I mean, I felt the hamstrings and stuff too. But I'm like, so then I'll go hard on the glute ham raises after. I want to make sure I get 6 sets. And I feel like I can limit the reverse hypers because I'm going to do a little reverse hypers for restoration. But I do feel like, again, that 5 to 6 sets of muscle group perfectly fine. Right? I need to be able to recover. So a lot of what I'm doing at this point is focusing on optimizing stimulus and then hammering my recovery, so that I can gain muscle and gain strength. But keeping the diet super clean, my dietary fat's extremely low, and I'm hoping with the fasting that'll allow me to recomp a little bit. And by extremely low, I mean, I don't know what's in chicken breast, what's in a sweet potato. So, pretty much where I'm at with it. I almost bought some steaks this week. They were priced stupidly well, some New York strip. I'm like, are they really that cheap? But I didn't. I bought chicken instead. So I did my 2 sets of that. Then I decided, let's go really heavy and try to get deep. So I want to push the weight up. I want to progressively overload these belt squats. So I went ahead and went to 270 and then tried to focus on hitting that same depth I've been getting well below parallel, because that brings my squat up, right? That brings my squat up. And so we got sets of 6 with the 270, which I'll take. What we were a little lighter. What was it? 245 or something. 255. 4 8s the other day, but they hurt like hell. These I felt like I got nice and deep. We got 6s, so I feel like I can work up from there. All right. Again, for the sake of brevity and plus, I just like Pendlay rows. I got really strong on seal rows recently, right? Real strong on seal rows. So now I'm just going to come back over for a bit and work barbell rows, also known as a Pendlay row. I haven't done these in a long time. Gosh, I bet I haven't done these in a year or more. I used to live on these. They carry over really well to my deadlift. I'm like, let's just do them again. Easy to set up. I don't have to stack my boxes up. My low back is in a good place, not a big deal. So I'm like, let's just do them. So I put 245 on the bar. Got 3 sets of 6. So I could build this up from here. I used to be stronger than this on these, by the way. But I was also deadlifting like 635 at the time. So I feel like these chin-ups and then doing some other upper back work would be a good place for me. But happy with it. Very, very minimal body English. There's almost no way to do none. So we just try to minimize it. And try to lock the elbows on each rep to get a little more lat. Did those, and then afterwards we pushed the rest of the hamstring work with the glute ham raises. So again, I grabbed a 10-pound plate, did sets of 8. They're lighting my hamstrings up. I'm definitely noticing doing these, that lower hamstring is really, really just throbbing from doing this stuff. So again, it lets me know it's probably detrained a hair, which is why that Good Morning was so hard. The deadlift was still good, but I have to look at, I didn't have the hamstrings for the Good Morning to do the Good Morning I want to do the other day, right? I was still ramping to a max. My lat cramped, and I felt like it was partially due to hamstring weakness, partially due to some overuse. I'm trying to train 6 days a week, so again, why I'm streamlining recovery. But I also felt like the hamstrings, looking at the bar path, the way it moved, my hamstrings did not have the strength to stabilize everything correctly. So we're going to double down on the glute ham raise work again. So Good Morning's glute ham raise is going to be my bread and butter. And I'll treat reverse hyper pretty much like a restoration thing. These were tough today. And a lot of times people don't like how I do these, and I always laugh and say, well, I've got big hamstrings, and I've always had a big deadlift. I actually have an elite deadlift still by all standards. So I'm not worried about it. I don't really care. Build your legs as big as mine, and then we'll talk. And hey, some of you might have as big legs or bigger. But it's just strange. People don't like how I perform the exercises for my best body parts. They never do. They never like my lat work, even though I have a big back. They never like my hamstring work, even I got big hamstrings, which you guys could really see on the box squats. Okay, so it is what it is. So then on top of that, I decided to do some upper back work. Now for people who are like, is that too much for your lats in a week because you do chins on the other day? No, not really, because I feel like there's very, very little lat. So on chin-ups, it really is very little upper back. Not saying it's zero. It's low enough I almost wouldn't count it. And the same thing with these 45 degrees. I don't know that I would even count them as true lat work. Are they upper back? Is it your entire trap? Is it your rear delts? Is it your rhomboids? Sure, absolutely. Absolutely, that stuff gets hammered. I don't know that it's significant lat at all compared to my relative lat strength. So yeah, I don't think I'm going over my 12 sets a week really. Especially if I don't count these as a lat and I don't count the chin up as an upper back. And I can count the pin leg row as both, the barbell row as both. So again, let's me double down on that. But I feel like my traps do need to come up. I was going to do shrugs in this slot, but I'm like, I need more rear delt. And I feel like even on my bench days, I need to drop a lot of the other shoulder work, add incline in, and just do my rear delts. Hammer those rear delts really hard, right? Because if I can bring the rear delts, the traps, and the triceps up as I recomp a little bit, again, I'll be in a good spot too, just in terms of overall strength development. So again, looking at that, when I look at it, I do feel like my rear delts, my posterior delts are still a weak link in terms of my shoulder girdle. So again, this will help. This will help shore that up a little bit. And then I finished up with an all-out set of reverse hypers. Apologize, there's background. It's the only set I did, and I thought they were done when I was finishing up. But yeah, I had new dishwasher installed today. The other one was broke. And so you guys will see it in the background. Don't worry about the guys taking the other one out, and then it fell down right here in the middle of the reverse hyper. He dropped it right on camera. So, but it's all good. You know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. But these I did 40 plus reps. All right, we did 40 plus reps. And oh no, accident back there. So I just took these as far as they would go. Normally I've been doing sets of 25, but this goes to show if I only do one set and I just push it and push it and push it till it burns, I can get 40 plus reps. So pretty much burn the hell out of my lower back, good restoration. I'll do some of these over the weekend too for restoration. But pretty happy with today's workout, so I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.